Alright, everybody, what's going on? We are playing another game of Hail Caesar at Scott's Basement of Doom. Again, we've got the Romans versus the Pyrrhus. Is it Pyrrhus?
Pyrrhic, yep.
Pyrrhic, yep. Same lists. I've just rearranged some divisions again. We only played last week, and it was a great tester game. We were going to play Pike and Shop. We're like, yeah, you know what? Hail Caesar is so much fun. Let's do it again. We've gone through there's a couple rules things that I've realized that we did wrong, so we're going to nip that in the bud hopefully today, and then just basically create more problems. We're playing 500 points, 3 divisions. Somebody over there has copied my excellent idea of painting the colored dice tokens the same colors, because, So my blue division, I've demoted this blue commander who used to be my cavalry commander. He's now been demoted to the reserve division. So this division here has 1, 2, 3 cohorts of legion. 4 cohorts of legion. No, 3 cohorts of legion. I'm an idiot. These are auxilia with spear and shield. And I've got the archers. I've got the bolt thrower. And slingers and skirmishers out in front there, facing off against that. My center, with the death of Julius Caesar last week. That's just fake news. He's back. So I mean, he's back. I'm not going to repaint him or anything like that. So again, I've got the center division with the purple. I've got the bolt thrower. Velites with javelins, slingers, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 cohorts of legionnaires and 1 cohort of veterans. These have all the fixins. So they've got elite, they've got tough fighters, and stubborn. And then replacing the blue commander from last game is this guy here. I'll have to give him a name of some sort, but he's going to have to maybe prove it in battle. He's got my cavalry division, so I've got my 2 units of light horse, who are deploying in open order this time. 2 units of mediums, and then 1 unit of heavy cavalry over here. Squaring off, Scott, what do you got?
So, so I've essentially got the same force, but I've just jigged things around a little bit. So,
you finished basing a ton of them, right?
Yeah, so I got the shields on my Seleucid. They're Seleucids, but they're Pyrrhic here.
Yeah.
So I got the elephant shields on those guys done, and all of the basing done on these guys now. So
yeah,
at least all my pike are finished completely.
Yeah.
Which is good. And I did paint up a new elephant. So this is the second elephant that I've got, and the difference is the red crest. And these guys are armed with javelins. The other guy has a lance. So trying a new elephant.
Does the actual weapons on the elephant, they're the same, or?
No. So in the listing,
in the list, there's differences.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it says so. For this, it says elephant armed with javelin crew.
Oh, okay. Because I think it's the Persian list, they're armed with dudes with bows.
Yeah, so there's different options that you can have.
Okay.
I think depending on the army type, like I think in the later successors and that, you can have different weapon systems on your elephants. But anyway, so this is why I made the crew with the javelins, although I haven't done the javelin because I only just found the metal javelins this morning.
Yeah.
So I'll put a second javelin on him. So he was on the right flank. I've added him to my left, and yes, I copied Dennis's red, purple, and blue, just because it was something simple and easy to do. So slingers and javelin skirmishers at the front, 2 units of Celtiberian at the front, 1 unit of Celtiberian at the back, and a unit of hoplites, and then the elephant.
So the Celtiberians are war bands.
Yeah, so medium infantry warband with sword and spear, and then hoplites. Celtiberians are medium infantry with sword and spear warband, and then the hoplites are phalanx.
Yeah.
So, and the pike are phalanx, and the phalanx rule, like we discovered last week, is they don't have to test if they're up to 2. If they lose combat. They only test if they're 3. Lose by 3.
I don't think it has anything to do with the test. It's just they don't count as losing.
Correct.
It's a draw if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't.
They have to
If I
lose-
don't win by more than 2.
So 3 or higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Because you
the
can still be shaken, take a wound, and still test.
Oh yeah. They can still take punishment.
Good.
And Philip
That's
is
the way
still
I like it.
Philip is still running the left, and of course Athena, who took Julius's head.
I'm going to kill her.
And it's not fake news.
No. That was some other... It wasn't Athena that
You have to
killed
bring Marius or someone because
Yeah.
Caesar is dead, dude.
her. Okay.
Okay, and then I've got 2 units of slings in the front as skirmish. The 2 center phalanx are regular. The silver shields are elite.
Yeah.
And then on the right flank of that, there's 2 units of hoplites. And that's the purple center. And then over on my right, 3 units of Celtiberian warband, medium infantry, sword, spear. The bolt thrower that does magic.
God, I hate that thing. That thing did more casualties than my entire cavalry division.
And then the lights and medium cavalry.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I've moved the elephant over to this flank.
Yeah.
And I've reduced the number of skirmishes this time round, and added an extra unit of Celtiberians in here.
Yeah. Because, when we said we're not changing our lists.
No, that's what I had last time. It wasn't written on the list. So I had,
Oh.
if you remember, I had the 3, the elephant, the bolt thrower, and the cavalry over here.
Okay.
And then over here, this is what I had the other side. So all I've done is I've just moved
them.
the elephant across.
Gotcha, okay. Good thing you're not cheating. We are playing that these aren't really doing anything.
It's just visual.
Yeah, it's just for whatever. Just for show.
Looks and grandeur.
Awesome. Well, we shall wait for reinforcements and then crack on with turn 1. Now you're on.
Okay, so my turn, really
Turn 1.
unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Yeah, first turn. So I went to go first, and leadership 8, rolled a 9, main commander, re-rolled, rolled 9 again. So did nothing. And I didn't do any of my initiative moves either. I wanted to keep it all together.
So the 25 points that you could have spent if you hadn't taken the elephant and made her a general.
Correct.
Or the leadership 9 would have paid off.
I'd rather have the elephant.
That's true. And then for me, I'm glad I had to... I did move my initiative with initiative order. I moved up my skirmishers and my lights, and then surprisingly all my commanders passed. This one here did the 2 moves up with the cavalry. My bolt throwers needed 6s to hit his light infantry there. That didn't hit. And then this bolt thrower here opted to shoot one of the Celtiberians there. It was just within range. Needing 5s to hit, didn't hit him. Yeah. So onwards to Scott's turn 2.
For my turn, it was actually broken up this time, so I moved all my skirmishers forward off their initiative move, and then I moved the first 2 units of Celtiberians and the elephant up. Successful, then failed to move these up to this guy forward, and this guy was going to go out the flank. This whole unit moved forward okay, and then on all of this moved forward okay. So everything was successful. Then on my shooting, the bolt thrower fired at his slingers, double 6s, made him, he ended up failing and broke and went back, disordered. Yeah. These slingers then fired at those and got 1 hit. These fired at the same guys, missed, and then these guys fired at the light cavalry and missed. So my bolt thrower, man of the match already.
It was man of the match last time.
Yeah, every shot he hit.
I got to kill that thing. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I need to murder that. Yeah. Right, it is my turn. Oh, what happened here? So initiative moves. I initiative charged my light cavalry into right in front of this. So into the elephant and into part of the Galatians. The other light cavalry went there. I moved the medium cav up to support the light cavs. And now when I went to do the same thing with these guys, I blundered. So these guys turned tail and went 18. So this is how far away they are from the board edge. The heavy cav that were with these guys, but were further back, are off the board. So I'll have to check whether or not there's a way for them to come back. Because I think if they're shaken and go off the board, they're dead. I think they can still come back.
Yeah.
Scott hopes not.
Yeah.
In other news,
Shooting.
I initially moved my skirmishers up, and then all my commanders were able to move one up, and in shooting...
So that
bolt
shot
thrower.
here did 3.
Yeah.
He shot here, did 1.
Yeah.
He shot and missed.
Yeah.
He shot over here and did 2.
Did 2, yeah.
Yep.
So, and then in combat, I poured all my wounds that I could into the, I was going to say camel, into the elephant. I did do 4 wounds, but his wildfighter guys just did so many wounds back, so I did lose. The light cavalry shattered, the medium cavalry stayed. He opted to not sweeping advance into them. The light cavalry into here did a couple wounds. No, just one. But fell back disordered to live another day. Yeah. Which is important because none of them are shaken, and so my division, if I lost 2 more, like this division would already be gone. So that would be bad news bears. So now it's Scott's turn 3, I believe.
Oh.
All right, Scotty.
All right, so...
your turn.
So my skirmishers did a, what's his name move there?
Initiative
move, and they
yeah.
did an initiative move.
To
and
charge
then,
into my...
No, just to move up. And then
the
Galatians, I charged into them off initiative. So they charged. And then I tried to move these up behind, but they failed. They only made 1 move instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then I joined my commander to the elephant to take off that. I rolled double 6s, so I blundered. And then I rolled a 6, which just basically said charge into the nearest enemy. So they came up to here.
To support, yeah.
Went through these guys, tested, they passed. Yeah. So, could have been a lot worse, wasn't.
Yeah. All of this because of the blunder. So I think the only thing you moved before the blunder was initiative move down.
Yeah, so initiative moves, he came down here, and then I did shooting. So he fired at that, missed. Bolt thrower.
Fuck that
fired
fucking
at
thing.
The skirmishers here, and they broke.
Of course they broke. Headshot. Boom, dead.
And then these 2 guys fired there and did 2 more wounds on that.
Yeah.
He fired at that and did nothing.
No, this.
Yeah, he did nothing. Missed.
Yeah, okay.
And then in this combat,
yeah,
all he did is he took more wounds than me, and then he just fell back. He rolled an 8, and that was it. And yeah.
So now this
it was pretty mediocre turn.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse, but I mean, the blunder. I mean, I don't think you would have won the combat had this guy not blundered forward to support.
It would have been close.
I would have rather it be close. And then plow through them, but whatever. Yeah. We'll see if I can... we got to figure out if my blundered guys can come back on.
Yeah.
Alright, so on my turn, I actually opted not to charge in. These guys were disordered, so they couldn't really, but I was debating it with him. Just to blast through the elephant. But I figured I didn't want to lose the whole division, so instead I brought back on the heavy cavalry. So now my division is it's more stable than before. Initiative moves, I moved the slingers closer to the light cavalry over there just to not get the... I guess I didn't have to move them because they're within 12. And 12 is a long range, so I probably should have moved them, but whatever. I shot them, did 2 wounds. My bolt thrower does absolutely nothing, so it did nothing. Yeah. This bolt thrower actually wasn't the one doing the 2 wounds, it was the archers. Yep. Thank you, that disorder comes off. Did a bunch of shooting over here, nothing.
1 wound
did
there.
1 wound there.
And that stays because it's shaken.
And the shaken stays, yeah. Yep. So thus ends my turn, whatever this is. And yeah, I think so. And now it's your turn 4.
So, over on the left flank, all I did was move those units up just to keep that line. Tried to follow up with this and failed. So I couldn't do anything further there. These guys...
And importantly, not move your commander and remove the shaken.
Yeah, I needed to take that shaken off the elephant. This didn't move at all. I just fired with my skirmishers and...
Killed off
his skirmishers.
My skirmishers.
This was different though. So these guys stayed where they were. I then charged the archers with my cavalry. I took a couple of hits, but not enough to do anything bad.
And shockingly, my archers stayed.
Well, that was the charge. Yeah. So, and then I followed up with the 3 units of Celtiberian infantry. I needed 2 moves, which I made it in. So that gave me a line, which I needed because them on their own, they would have just been decimated. So then we did the melee, because that's all that was left. My cavalry took a hit because of the supports. But fortunately, they didn't break. They stood their ground. This here, so he lost the combat.
Well, hang on. Let's back up. You already had 2 wounds. You actually won this combat.
I did.
I rolled high with my archers.
Yeah, you stood your ground.
Yeah, and then you passed your test.
And I passed that test. And then over here, he lost, but rolled high, stood his ground. Over here, he lost by a lot, rolled high and only went back in good order. I did the follow-up, counter-charge, and the same result again. Took casualties, but rolled high and went back in good order.
Yeah, so
and that's where we're at.
So now we're going to see how I can hopefully charge into some flanks here. We'll see what's what. I think we might have to get Maker's Mark though before that. Get my courage up and everything.
Yeah. That's what I'm giving. I'm telling him I'm charging the whole front rank forward.
Yes. So before that happens,
but he has to do his video.
We'll just go do my video. Yes. So we determined that yes, these guys could come back on if I passed my order, which I did. So initiative orders, these 2 units of medium and lights were closer up here. I moved them back. I just kind of wanted to redress the ranks. And then I was able to move, well, these guys came on and these guys moved up. So my intention is to later kind of form up some sort of a line. Over here, you'll see a distinct lack of other cohorts, and that's because they were able to pull off, shockingly for me, passed a lot of good leadership tests. This unit was able to turn and flank and hit them twice. Didn't break him, but I did shake him past.
Yeah.
This unit did likewise, was lined up here, turned, charged them, pushed them back. These units here fell back from this battle here. And I won this battle here against his horse.
I saw that.
No, actually, I don't think I won the battle. I think I lost the battle, but I inflicted enough wounds with my Romans to, whatever. It's an Australian centurion. It's okay, guys.
Do they have like a NAM bolt action?
Yeah, I've got an MVA, and
yeah,
it's not quote unquote official, but
we have the armies. We're just going to use the bolt action rules.
Well, there's a bolt action mod for them. Yeah. Anyways, long story short, I was able to inflict a shit ton of damage, but the problem is, as you can see here, is now this is all that's left against his best unit. So what we're hoping now is that his division breaks. So we have to look that up before his turn. So hopefully his division, because he's got a shaken unit here.
3 shaken, 2 good.
3 shaken, 2 good. So yes, so that's going to be some sort of a test. We will determine what that is.
Well, actually, it's 3 and 3, so I'm not under 50%.
These guys aren't shaken.
Are your lights? Good. Yeah, but your lights I don't think count.
Don't they?
I don't know if they don't count for and against. We'll have to look it up.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So over here, I charged into the flank of this unit here. They were facing that way, if you remember.
Yeah.
So I charged them. These guys charged into both of those. I mean, it was shaken and on legs, but I figured why not. And this guy, I brought the commander up. He removed one of these, which took them off shaken, which is what I wanted.
Which is clutch, as it turns out.
And then this guy fired and did nothing. So my bolt throwers let me down. Then in the center...
Oh, no, your bolt thrower has let you down. They're out of their bullshit cheating ammo.
They've lost their magic ammo. So this whole phalanx line, I just charged forward and it passed.
With the reroll.
With the reroll off the commander. Destroyed his bolt thrower, and then these equaled. So I lost and lost, but rolled for this one to stand, and this one doesn't have to test because of the phalanx rule.
Yeah, so this one I'm actually winning, which is the coin, because I'm going to forget.
Yeah, and
in fact, I should have put some over here, because I did win.
You lost, so you lost that, I won that, you won that, and that was a draw. Yeah.
Okay, so
and this hoplite charged into the rear of those, and God don't ask me how you can charge into the rear and lose, but it was a draw.
I rolled a good armor saves for
once.
once.
Yeah, you did. Saved all your armor. And then these guys, I just moved the back line up, and that was all I did over here. I just
no, you finally took the...
I finally took the...
You put a
the
Band-Aid
off my elephant.
You put a Band-Aid on the elephant's balls.
Yeah.
That's okay, big fella.
Yeah.
You're no longer shaken.
Yeah. And that's it.
All right.
Fifth turn ended. Dennis's fifth turn.
Fifth turn,
we
yeah.
got one more
and
turn.
then we got one
after
more,
this.
yeah. All right, my turn 5. Initiative moves. I did a couple of charges. Yeah, I did a charge there. I really wanted to, in the initiative move, support, but we'll have to check and see if I could do that or not. I did some... I charged them with my archers. So my archers actually won, did some wounds, won. He fell back. I charged them again, made them shaken, but he also made me shaken. The goal is just to break this division, which we determined he hadn't yet, but it might come up. But I tried to move some more dudes and then failed, which is why all these guys in the back couldn't move into positions to support, which sucked. These lads...
don't forget, the slingers broke that unit. The unit I had that was...
Oh, yeah, the unit that was back here,
Yeah,
that was, yeah.
You did one casualty,
One
and
casualty,
I failed
already shaken. Yeah,
and I
that's
failed my morale.
So huzzah for the slingers. Over here, I just consolidated my lines here on the off chance that he decided to charge. And I just did kind of a Hail Mary with my light cavalry into the skirmishers, who I destroyed. And then I got my 2 moves, so I turned and then crashed into these skirmishers. Wounded them, but now I'm shaken. Over here, I still won this combat.
I passed my test.
But he passed his test, and over here it's still a draw.
Yep.
We're just grinding each other down.
Yep.
So Scott has his last turn. We'll see what he can do.
Yep. Okay, well, that went really badly. So, I charged in and destroyed his... so initiative
Bolt
moves charged in.
Hold on, if it's the end of his turn, that division responds. Cause it's
Yes, we're going to...
Yeah,
yes.
we'll get to that. So I charged in and killed his bolt thrower because it was an initiative move and blah, blah, blah. However, he got 2 hits, which I failed to save because they're skirmish cavalry. So it's now shaken.
Huzzah, the bolt thrower. You couldn't hit anything in the shooting step,
yeah.
but they pick up a bucket and swing
swing a bucket.
hit a Numidian in the face.
Now, I did pass my test, so I didn't break, but I'm shaken here, and I'm shaken here. I have 1 unit in good standing, which means that division is now gone.
Most importantly, the bolt thrower.
Yes. Most importantly for Dennis.
Do you mind if I capture that bolt thrower?
No, you can't have it. They ran away. They didn't stay to die in place. They just ran away.
No, the crew ran away. The bolt thrower is actually
You're not
still
getting
there.
the bolt thrower. I don't care what you want. You're not getting the bolt thrower.
Darn it.
Yes, nice try. Oh, fuck.
Alexander the
Great. The only metal spear in my whole army.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go get tetanus
No,
shots.
that's yours. That's mine. Yeah, that's right. Play a game of Hail Caesar or Pike and Shot. Get a tetanus shot first.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my red division gone.
Yeah.
All right. Now, over here. So I had these guys locked in combat, and then I charged the flank with these guys. Yeah. He lost and became shaken. I did a counter charge with these guys. They passed these guys moving through.
Yeah.
But it was a draw. So he lost, but he stood ground based on his dice roll. Yeah. So they stay in combat.
Yeah.
And then over here,
clutch.
Did this first. He rolled all his saves, and then
I closed shields.
Yeah, closed shields.
And I put all my attacks into the front unit that was shaken.
Correct.
And shattered them.
Yeah, and then they went. And I don't. Do you have that choice?
I do. If these guys weren't in my flank, yes, I would have. I could have done something, but I don't have a choice.
No, I mean you can.
Oh, I can turn to face them and be disordered. Actually, yes, I could do that.
No, I'm talking about Can you put all your attacks front, or do you have to split?
I can put all my attacks front.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we put them all front, and my guys were already on there. They're already shaken and all that shit. So they broke really easy.
Yeah.
So he stays.
I think I will go disordered and turn though.
Yep.
Ow. That was my winning token from before.
Yep.
Wonderful. And then over here, my light cavalry died because I suck.
Yeah. So I out hit him with the melee with the light
I
cavalry.
rolled
And
nothing
they
but ones and
broke.
twos. Yeah.
Yeah, so they broke. And then these guys failed everything, so they didn't do anything. They didn't even move. So, and that was that. So I've lost my right division.
I got to do some math on my division, but I think my blue division is okay. But we'll have to check that.
Well, at the moment, it has to do.
I have to rally off.
You have to rally one to stay. Otherwise, you'll have to test at the end if you.
But at the end, it'll be the end of the game, so I really won't care. But I'd rather them stay.
Breaks.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we shall see.
Well,
That actually would be really funny. It looks like pachyderms back on the menu.
Meat's back on the menu. All right. So my
Out of curiosity,
yes.
where do they go to eat where they have menus? Do you ever wonder that about that line in that movie?
Yeah, it's like they can't.
Meat's
really...
back on the menu, and you're like,
yeah.
There's an orc restaurant? Like, sorry. Anyway.
That's
Fine dining at the what is it, Saruman's Tower?
Yeah.
Be an army worthy of Mordor
to the White
and have
House
some
table.
scones.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my brother. So he went to New Zealand because he's in Indonesia. So he went to New Zealand with his family and went to go visit some of these places. And there's a bed and breakfast that you can see Mount Doom. And so the way the clouds were, it looks like there was smoke on top of it, but it was from the cafe.
Yeah.
Right, and then the open window. So I sent him back a meme, and it was Saruman going, so you've chosen scones. Well then. Instead of chosen death. And he was dying, yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so that anecdote out of the way.
Yeah.
Job here was just to hang on by the skin of my teeth. So blue division, I didn't want to chance anything.
Well,
all I want to do is rally.
You're forgetting, at the end of the day, you won. You forgot that.
I was getting there.
No, that's the first thing out of you.
Okay, fine. I barely won.
You won.
Barely.
Well, still.
All right, so I did win despite my shitty dice rolling. I had good armor saves at the end.
Yes.
I need to just literally get rid of everything that isn't Legion and just make it just Legion.
So you know what I just heard was, if I had played Space Marines for a lot more of my time, I would have played so much better.
These are Space Marines. These are Space Marines.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You won with Space Marines. Space Marines.
So, to keep this division alive, all I had to do was rally off this Shaken, which I did, which is great. Over here, all I had to do was not get another unit shaken. That unit was already shaken from purple. This one here died. I mean, that was fine. It was already shaken. It's out of these three here that had to stay alive.
Yeah.
Which they did. Barely. And over here, I was not in any danger.
No, you failed your charge. You didn't get
Yeah, I failed my charge, yeah. But I was like, I can live with that. So I was able to blast away... no, so these guys came in.
So you lost the first round of combat.
Yeah.
Bounced back in good order. I followed up. You lost again, but bounced
but
back.
I did, that's because I did the shield thing every single time.
Yeah.
Well, and you saves. Which
My
means
saves,
that
this saves here
it was just
huge.
a straight up roll, no penalty. So that's why.
3 up, 3 up, 3 up, 3 up. Yeah,
Yep.
made a bunch.
Yep.
And wasn't shaking here, otherwise that would have been a draw. Because his blue division did shatter.
It did.
So that was an awesome game.
It was another good. I'm really enjoying this mechanic. I'm really enjoying Hail Caesar, and I think, like I said last month, I think it's because it's more you've got to actually get in and do that melee combat as opposed to just black powder or pike and shot and
It's just
a lot of shooty shit.
It's just if you're British, you just stand there and shoot with first fire all day.
Yeah, and watch the French get dissipated. But in this,
because Warlord Games is not biased at all towards the British. At all.
Don't say that. You're playing with Warlord game rules and figures.
Well, I can't wait to see how broken the British are, the ancient British are, when I play them.
Why? They're worse than what I've got on the table now.
I'll bet you they're not.
I bet you they are.
Anyways, Warlord Games, biased towards British normally. I mean, just look at bolt action. All right. Anyways. No, it was good. We do have to determine whether or not these skirmish or open order units count against for the division thing. It probably do, but since we started counting them that way, we just finished the game that way. Yeah, that was a good game, man.
It is. It is a good game, and I am enjoying it.
Yeah,
like
at first it looked like just our big lines were just going to meet in the middle in big lines, but
Yeah.
like look how chaotic it was over here. You had guys in my backfield, I had guys down there.
And like last time, like we said, I mean, just because you get into combat, it doesn't mean that you lose a unit. Like you bounce back and forward, I mean, look at this. I mean,
Yeah,
I lost
they
this.
gave ground, and then
yeah.
you can,
Yeah.
no, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, and it comes down to what you put on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, look, freaking medium heavy cavalry and Galatian infantry.
And you know what? Julius Caesar didn't die this time.
No, I didn't get Helen in there to take his head because you didn't put him in to fight.
I thought about it, but then if I
chicken.
did,
Yeah,
I didn't want him to die twice in March. It's still March.
Yeah, I know.
So I didn't want to even take that chance. Anyways, thanks for the game.
Thanks, man.
Nice seeing you, Drew. Cheers.